Hello and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Paula.
And today we're talking about competition. So what is competition, how you truly define it, and what to do with your competitors.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
So, what is competition? I think in tradition, in the landscaping industry in particular, is anyone who's in a close location to you is often seen as your competitor, but we'd probably argue against that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because actually they might not offer the same services or the same type of materials or the same specification. So there's lots of different ways of differentiating to who your competitors actually are. And often a good way is to ask for who you're quoting against.
Yeah, one of the things that you can do, like Charlotte said, is find out who you're quoting against, because we always find that there's some certain companies that we constantly quote against and others not so much. And that might just be purely due to location. Another thing to look at is obviously pricing, because again, when you're looking at competition, you've got to look at everything as relative. So are you a good price comparison to your nearest competitor, or are you more expensive, less expensive, etc.? So there's lots of ways you can analyze your competitors. There's lots of ways to decide who are your competitors. I often say I don't find I have any competitors because I'm in competition with myself and myself first and foremost. And of course, that's not me being big-headed. It's about saying, yes, there are competitors out there, but we know we do landscaping our way. We have certain things that we definitely do that others don't. And if you want us, you're buying into us, not,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think there's a fine line, and I think I've said this before, maybe or maybe not on the podcast, but there's a fine line between competitor analysis and comparing yourself.
Yeah.
So competitor analysis could be things such as Moz, which is an SEO tool, ranking in Google, that we use. We can enter 3 competitors and see how much they rank for Google for the keywords we've selected versus us. Now that's competitor analysis to see, are they ranking above you for patios Hampshire or something like that? There's a difference between that and seeing how often you're quoting against other companies to, oh, their website's so much better than mine. Oh, their social media is so much better than mine. They've got beautifully wrapped fans, or they produce these really beautiful business cards. And there's a difference between comparing yourself, as I say, to competitor analysis. And it's something that I think, have a look at and reflect. Do you often make decisions? Because it comes to a point where I've known people and we've spoken to people that make decisions on their own business based on what others are doing and competitors and trying to follow the herd, when actually all you're doing is not being true to yourself, true to your business, and probably only really harming your business.
Yeah, you can be entering very choppy waters if you begin to change your business just based on the competitors. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't look at your competitors around you, but it doesn't have to be people in your area. It can be people out of area that you're looking to for inspiration and, motivation. I'm not saying you don't look around and see what people are doing and perhaps add a service or change certain things you're doing. Of course, do that. However, what I'm saying is it's got to be something that you feel happy with in your business, also that you're really good at, because there's no point in doing something, adding a service that you're not fully equipped for or fully knowledgeable about. So it's, say if we decided to add ponds into our offering, we don't currently do that because we don't have a specialist that would do that for us. And none of our guys feel happy to install a pond, for instance. So even if my nearest competitor was doing that and doing well, there's no way I would add it in as a service because I am not an expert in that. So it's making sure that you have the knowledge and expertise to deliver on whatever new service, product or venture you're going into. It's thinking about whether it marries itself with your business, because again, you don't want to go wildly different. So it has to all tie in to what you're doing so that it falls in with the ethos and kind of vision for your company. So what I'm saying is, don't just do it if just because your competitor's doing it. Oh, they're doing this, so I better do it. Oh, they're going to earn loads of money. You don't know that, by the way, because social media lies.
It's smoke and mirrors. Yeah. I think I'm talking more in terms of marketing things. So there's definitely, again, inspiration. Oh, you know, that person's got a van wrap. My van isn't currently wrapped. Looks really nice. Let me create it in my own version. That's inspiration versus, oh, my competitors are doing time lapses on social media, which means I've got to do time lapses on social media. Or, oh, they're doing this really well, so I've got to basically do something very similar. And there's also, so I've got to basically do something very similar. And there's also the thing that I've noticed of worrying that your competitors will see things. Not,
Oh yes, we get this a lot.
Yeah, we get this a lot where it's, well, I really want to do this, but
if my competitor sees,
they could judge me.
or copy me.
Or copy, yeah. For me personally, there's a few things in what we've just said. Number one is, if you are making decisions based off your competitor for your own business, you're only going to end up feeling lost in your business because it's not true to you and you don't feel like it's yours anymore. You don't have that same passion. It's just, it doesn't have a authentic core, or, you know, you just said like the aura way, or do you know what I mean? You don't have a strong ethos.
It can also add multitudes of pressure on you. So for instance, like Charlotte said about a time-lapse video, if I suddenly started going, oh, so-and-so over there is doing a time-lapse video, I've got to do it. That's added pressure, added workload, and it's completely off my lane, out of my lane. That's not what I'm focusing on. So you've got to stick to your own lane, really.
Yeah. And then the worrying about competitors seeing and judging you, you're not running your business for them. They're not the ones, if it's something on your website, for example, they're not the ones that are going to be investing in your business. Your potential clients are. So at the end of the day, it's hard, I know, because it takes everyone a while to get there. But who cares? Because if you're doing something different, doing something unique, then that will be noticed and will be celebrated. And if they try and copy it, fine, but they're probably going to do a rubbish version. That's not English, but rubbish version, because you're the one with the idea, and you can't hold yourself back in your business just because of what others think, or because you're worried people will copy you, because otherwise you're halting your own progress and your own success.
Yeah, I think it's simple things like sharing images of completed projects or designs. Some people are really hesitant to do this. And I think, no, go for it, because ultimately that is what a client will buy into, how you design something, because essentially everyone is a garden designer for, you know, who chooses to be one, but you'll all do it in different ways. So you'll do it in different styles, you'll have different visions, you'll use different packages, you might do hand drawn, you might do CAD, you might do a mix. The whole process they go through will be different. So it doesn't really matter if you're showing off a finished garden design. There should be no need to worry, because ultimately that's what the client's going to buy into, the completed finished product, not just of the finished build, but also the design work as well that goes along. And like I said at the beginning, people buy into you. So essentially competition doesn't really exist if you're constantly just improving yourself.
No, and we're not saying every social media post has to be a finished garden or finished project, because we do like you, again, people buy into you to show yourself on social in your marketing. But there are still ways you can protect yourself. So watermarking all of your designs or your finished projects using just your logo, reduce the opacity maybe, so it doesn't stand out so much, but it just protects the images that you're using. If that makes you feel more comfortable, do that. But as we say, you need to focus in your own lane before looking at other people's.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to look, how can you improve your business? How can you improve your skill set? How can you develop your staff? How can you add to your offering or your service, and go that way, really? Be true to yourself, be true to your vision for your company. Don't worry about what other people say or think. Stick in your own lane and just crack on, stay focused. I do think competition is healthy. It's good to have competition. It will keep you on top of your game. It will keep you developing yourself and looking to improve things in your business. However, I don't think it's the be all and end all. Like me and Charlotte say, we utilize competitors for competitor analysis in Moz, and that's for search engine optimization purposes. But I generally do not. Gone are the days where you have to do competitor analysis every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and even with the Landscapers Circle, for example, if we were really worried about competition, we'd have to look not just at ones that specifically focus for landscapers. Our members can, in theory, go to just some marketing
Any marketing
agency that caters for all types of industries. But at the end of the day, we are what makes TLC, and the fact that we do exclusively service. And we do look to some that are more closely servicing the industry and can look and do maybe a mini competitor analysis. But again, we don't focus too much on what they're doing, because we know we've got a good thing here. We know how we want to run it based on what our members say that they love and they enjoy, and from people we've spoken to.
Yeah, and ultimately people buy into us. So if people want to work with us, they will. If they don't, they'll go somewhere else, and that's absolutely fine. We're not here for everybody, but we're here for you guys if you want to. So it works the same in your landscaping and design business. Just be the best you, really.
Definitely. If you have any questions, as always, why not send us a social message on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we can answer your question on the next podcast. We hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day or evening whenever you're listening to this, and we will see you on the next one.
See you later, guys.